You don't fail quietly. You fail like luggage thrown down a staircase, with contents you swore were organized. You take carefully, with a method no one can quite follow. Measure once with unusual tools, nod to yourself and then commit completely to a cut that goes somewhere else entirely. You don't hedge your bets, you stack them, light them, and act surprised when the table disappears. Fail, 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 fail. With momentum, with travel plan, with a bag already half packed, and you ran. Every time it started closing in, you didn't decorate the cage. You found a gap or made one, and went through it badly, but you went. And sometimes, not often, but enough, you landed somewhere that almost felt like it worked. You don't lose people cleanly. You evaporate around them, become a story told without dates. You leave like weather, noticed after the fact. You've walked out of rooms mid-sentence, mid-life, mid-version of yourself. Not always for good reasons, not always for reasons at all. Just a pressure, a sense that if you stay you will harden into something permanent and wrong. So you go again and again, like staying still is the only real fail. You've been a friend in past tense, in multiple places. You've been, he was here for a bit, in different accents. And you ran, not gracefully, not with a plan anyone could defend, but with enough instinct to know the walls weren't it. And you traded stability for the chance, just the chance of something better. And sometimes you found a piece of it before it slipped again. Your mind doesn't settle, it scouts, it scans for exits in conversations in cities and versions of yourself. You can feel a place go wrong before it proves it. You can outstay your welcome in your own thoughts. You build futures quickly, inhabit them briefly, then dismantle them when they start to resemble the past. You've talked yourself into leaving with arguments that sound convincing at speed and ridiculous in hindsight, but they got you moving, they got you out. You could have stayed, that was always an option. You didn't. You ran on incomplete information, on instincts that didn't always hold, but they pointed away and you followed hard, fast, sometimes straight into another wall, but sometimes through. Your body has kept records, not neatly, not helpfully, but it remembers. It carries distances you didn't prepare for, sleeps badly in unfamiliar shapes, adjusts poorly, repeatedly to new air, new floors, new ways of being tired. It wasn't built for this kind of use. Constant relocation, internal or otherwise. It lags behind your decisions, arrives later complaining, and still you take it with you every time. You don't leave it behind, you drag it through each attempt, through each restart, through each this might be it. It hasn't held up well, but it has held through all of it. And you ran, even when it got harder to carry yourself, even when the exits narrowed, even when it identical to ending. You still chose movement over staying stuck. And that choice, repeated enough times, became something like a life. You were not given a stable beginning, that much is clear. The ground shifted early, the walls closed in at odd angles. The air didn't quite suit you, and you could have stayed. Many do learn the shape of it, call it home, stop asking. You didn't, you kept leaving. You kept breaking your own continuity, interrupting your own story on the chance that somewhere else would fit better. It did not fully, not for long. But you found things, small, temporary, real moments that held places that almost worked, versions of yourself that made brief sense. You wouldn't have had those if you'd stayed. You lost overall, that's not in question. The pattern is clear, but you stole pieces from it on the way through. And given the setup, given the starting hand, given the way things closed around you, running was the only move, and you played it over and over and over. Not well, not safely, not successfully, but fully. And for a while, in between the collapses, you were somewhere else, and it was better. And that mattered more than it looks like it does.